What's up, guys? Blink Lightning here. Today I'm going to be showing you the basic lateral turn, or yeah, it's not really. I wouldn't really call it much of a maneuver, but it's the basis of dogfighting. People automatically assume because everybody seems to know everything, but people assume, and there's a huge misconception that dogfights just consist of going up and down in loops, and that's really it. Of course, that's not true, but the basic lateral is maintaining speed of 310 to 315. Aim for 313 if you can, but 310 to 315. Uh, and it consists of burns on the up, break on the down, and I'll show you what it is. Burn, burn, burn. Break. Burn, burn. Break. And you don't want to tap the brake. You want to hold it down. Uh, you could judge. You can compensate your speed or your burns and your brakes for whatever speed you're going. If you're going too fast, brake more. If you're going too slow, burn more. Like add a few more burns. But I would honestly just stay with going to 2 to 3 burns per turn. Or yeah, because that'd give you the most even kind of loop. But that's really it for a lateral. I'll teach you about, just as a little bit of a side note here, about horizontals. Horizontals are just not worth it because they're easy to counter, easier than the laterals are to counter. But horizontals are easily countered. Now, what you want to do is you don't want to go up, or you want to aim your jet down. You don't want to aim your jet up because if you're aiming up, you have to use burns because you're losing speed if you face up. And when you use burns in a horizontal, then it kind of messes with your speed, and I would just try to stray away from doing it. But if you're aiming it down, you're gaining speed, and all you have to do is just tap on the brakes. That's really it. And when you're doing anything in a jet, anything at all, horizontals, laterals, scissors, switches, whatever it may be, yaw. Yaw is on Xbox and the PS3, the left thumbstick on the controller. It takes you left or right. That's its only job. You can't go up, down, or anything. You just go left or right. Now, what that does is, say I'm about to get into a dogfight. I'm trying to maintain my speed, and the dogfight starts right here, and I get into a lateral. Let's say the dogfight's going left. I want to yaw left because that'll cut my speed. Say the dogfight's going right, then I want to yaw right because that'll cut my speed. Yawing cuts speed. People don't know about it. It's really helpful. It helped me improve a little bit. Actually, not a little bit, quite a lot, because it really does cut your speed. It might not be noticeable at first, but the more you practice it, the more you see yourself doing it, the more you'll notice. Now, I'm not the best jet pilot. Obviously, I'm not the best dog fighter, but I've had some good teachers, and I've held my own against a few top pilots. But I in this video, like, one of the best tips, or the best few tips I can give you are: one, you can only learn from a loss, not a win. Think about that. Um, two, try not to think when you're in a dogfight. If you're practicing by yourself, or you're just practicing and you're not in a dogfight, think about what you're doing. If you're in a dogfight, if you think about what you're doing, then you're going to start getting intimidated if they're better than you. And if they're worse than you, then you're going to start getting cocky, and you're going to start doing these horrible maneuvers that'll just ruin it, ruin your chances of winning. But try not to think about what's going on in the dogfight. If you're by yourself, think about what you're doing so you can get the general idea of jet flying. Now, the third tip I have is to try to refrain from flying in public games, because usually the pilots that you're going to come across in public games are not usually good. So that just means that your practice has all gone to waste. And if you have a dogfight coming up and you've been practicing in public matches, then it makes you worse off than you really are. And when you're practicing in a private server or an empty server by yourself, which is the general thing I'm aiming for here, you can only improve. You can't get worse. You figure things out. You can see what you're doing wrong, and it just makes you better. Now, back to the first thing, you can only learn from a loss, not a win. Try to set up 1v1 dogfights with good pilots, like well-known pilots on whatever console or system whatever you're playing on, because you will easily be able to point out what they're doing better than you, what you're not doing right, what mistakes you are making, and you'll be able to work on them and improve on them. No matter how long it takes, you can improve. I mean, that's jet flying consists of improving. I have tons of things that I can improve on. I'm not a great pilot. I don't consider myself a great pilot because I've gotten my ass handed to me so many times it's not even funny. But I hope this is helpful. I will be doing some videos on just general dogfighting, some 1v1s I'm going to be setting up, some dogfighting maneuvers, some more tips and tricks and stuff of that sort. But I'll feel more comfortable doing those videos after I practice more, because practice makes perfect, and that's really is all I could say. But I have to practice these maneuvers first before I try to make myself look good and show them off and tell people how to do them. And I want to do them right. So I hope this is helpful. This is Blink Lightning signing out. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, whatever all that jazz is. And I will see you next time.